what we need is not always what we want. And that's not the most comfortable thing, but if you can understand that and really embrace it, it could completely change your life and ability to make change in your life. And that's really what I want to talk about today. I want to explain that in a little bit more detail. And yeah, so I'll do that in a moment. Now, first of all, why should you care? Who's this for? My name is Jack. I have ADHD and I'm an ADHD coach, and I share things that are useful to me and my clients. And in this case in particular, what I'm talking about is something that's fundamental to coaching, to ADHD coaching. And one of the things, well, coaching in general, and it's one of the things that in particular differentiates it from a lot of other therapeutic approaches, psychology, counseling, etc. Now, of course, what I'm referring to can be present there, but a lot of those disciplines are more interested in giving the client a lot more agency. Now, I don't know if this is really my approach or one, I don't want to speak for all of my peers, but I do know for myself, the way that I see my role often is less about really helping you work out what you want to do and more me having that outside perspective to extract information from you that I can then use to reflect back at you to show you things that you haven't seen before. And from there, we can make decisions about what to do. And often, part of the assumption with this is that you don't know what's best for you. And that's hard to hear. And let me be clear, I don't know what's best for me. And I may have opinions about what I think is best for me, but here's the thing. If I knew what was best for me, and if I was correct, then that would already be the case. I would already have done the things that were best for me, or the actions that I would have taken would have already secured the best thing for me, the thing that I was looking for. So by very virtue of the fact that I'm seeking input, that I'm aware that things aren't where I want them to be, that implies inherently that my perspective on the situation is flawed. Now, this relates quite a lot actually to the video that I posted yesterday, but slightly different. Now, the really important thing here though that I'm trying to speak to is part of the coaching process where we must embrace that discomfort of being told that we're wrong, or even just being open-minded to the idea that we are wrong. And being able to hear that not as, hey Jack, he's talking to me, hey Jack, you're wrong. That's not me going, oh, hang on, let me clash with you. Let me explain how I'm actually correct. That's not the point. The whole point is to go, thank you so much for showing me where I'm wrong. That's so useful to know. Awesome. Or, I want to agree with you. I want to see how that's incorrect, because clearly whatever is occurring in my life isn't where I want it. So something's wrong, and maybe it is that. But maybe you don't understand it fully. Let me share a little bit more. And oh yeah, is it wrong? Is it not? Oh, maybe it's wrong, but this part of it. Clarity. Now we know what we're dealing with. Now we can fix it. So it's sort of actually part of it is trying to find the areas that we are incorrect. We actually want to actively seek out and find the things that we don't know. Uncover the blind spots. Not pretend that there aren't any. Not feel at fault or attacked when they might be pointed out, but instead go, oh my God, you're right. That is a huge problem and a massive thing that I do that's a big issue. Awesome. That's so good to be aware of. Yeah, that's the mentality, right? And being able to do that really distinguishes if someone is what I would consider coachable, at least by me, or not. Can you not only be wrong, but be enthusiastic to uncover areas where you're wrong? And I don't mean wrong in just, where your perspective on things isn't perfect, which of course it isn't. We're not omniscient. But there is this attachment that a lot of us have. There's this defensive-ness that we, if we're incorrect, it's a reflection of how we as individuals are somehow flawed or wrong or bad. No, it's an inherent aspect of being a human being that we can't have perfect perspective on all matters at all times. That should be a given. But for many of us, it's not. For many of us, it's like, how dare you imply that I don't know complex astrophysics? I'll show you. 2 plus 2 is 7. Maybe that's not the best example. Maybe it is. But really, I'm just speaking to the defensiveness aspect. Now, I'm going to move on. I'm going to share another piece that's relevant here, which this is a quote that I first heard from Alan Watts in one of his lectures. I don't know if it's him quoting someone else or if it's from him, but it's useful. And it goes something, and really what I'm looking at here is, whatever, it'll emerge. So he says, "Here, let me help you," says the monkey, kindly putting the fish up a tree. And his point there is, how do we know what's best for others? We don't even know what's best for ourselves, or rather that's what he goes on to say. So for us to consider, okay, well, this is the best thing for you, that's not a decision I can make unilaterally, but also, really importantly, if I can accept that my perspective on what's correct for you is so flawed, then how can I have any perspective on what's right for me? There's no way I could know that. Because at least with the other thing, I'm looking at it objectively or externally. But when it's me, I'm so biased. So we can't know what's best for ourselves. This relates way more than I realized to what I talked about in my previous video, but whatever, we're here now. And the concept is so valuable that it's worth reiterating again and again. Now, as I'm speaking, I'm aware that that also does bring to the, it questions the idea of, well, okay, cool, Jack, but you're just saying, how do you know as a coach what's best for other people? And I'm not necessarily claiming that I do. The point, though, is about creating a framework or a conversation that just has a slightly different approach, where it's less about the more kind of supportive environment of listening and letting someone else share and elaborate their framework and perspective, and more the process of challenging that perspective to find cracks. And I'm not saying I'm going to come into your situation being like, oh yeah, we just met and I know what your problem is, but it's more me coming in with the understanding that there are flaws. There's something going wrong, or you would already have what you want. So let's try to collaboratively unpack what those things are, so that we can then collaboratively make a plan that we both think is going to be an appropriate one for you to execute with my support potentially. But anyway, the point is, it's this collaborative uncovering of the person's blind spots. And that doesn't work if it's an individual who can't bear the thought that they may have blind spots. It doesn't work if it's an individual who can't bear the idea that there might be something about them that's not perfect. Now, I don't have much tolerance for people like this because I don't get them. I'm so aware, I'm so cognizant of all of my flaws. And I'm not to say that I'm even ashamed of them. I just accept that they're part of me, and that's okay. It's more than okay, it's awesome, it's divine. It's what makes me me. And I celebrate them actively as I continue to work through them and explore how they... Anyway, we don't even... whatever, I'm getting pedantic, as I will tend to do when I'm particularly quite tired, as I am now. Find the thread. So, yeah, it's not about collaboratively, it's not about like me criticizing you, it's not about me knowing inherently exactly what you need. It's just a different process of inquiry that's more about just acknowledging that we don't know what's best for us. That's really the point of this video. And yeah, that's hopefully, there's things in that are useful to you. Things that as you've listened, as you've considered this, you can extract and go, I might have a use for this piece of information. Great. And if not, discard it. Pretty straightforward. Adopt what's useful, discard what's not. Discard what is not. Anyway, I'm gonna go rest, surely. It's been a big ass day. But look, thanks so much for sticking around this long, if you have. I post a new video every single day of 2024. So if you like this, if there was some content here that resonated, that landed, that was useful, that you already is unlocking some new pathways of realization and discovery. I mean, I hope that's the case. That's my intention in sharing it. And if you would like more of that and you'd like to give it a chance to see if I can do that for you again, hit the subscribe button and you'll get more of whatever. You know the drill. I post every day. If you want to see when I do it again, hit subscribe. It's all for you. Anyway, that's my bit. Bye-bye. I'll see you tomorrow maybe. Bye-bye. I like this waving outro thing. It's fun for me. Farewell. Bye. Talk soon. Bye.